Hello coders, how are you this beautiful day? I hope you all are having an amazing day and you are ready to continue with the CSS Grid. Today I will continue presenting my solutions. I hope you like this kind of content, and if you do like it, just please subscribe. Also, if you're new to my channel, my name is Eleftheria and these days I'm working with FreeCodeCamp. So let's do that. I have already done some videos in CSS Grid, so if you haven't watched them, just go watch them and then continue with this one, okay? Right, go. Reduce repetition using the repeat function. Cool. When you used grid template columns and grid template rows to define the structure of a grid, you entered a value for each row or column you created. True. Let's say you want a grid with 100 rows of the same height. It isn't very practical to insert 100 values individually. Fortunately, there is a better way by using the repeat function to specify the number of times you want your column or row to be repeated, followed by a comma and the value you want to repeat. Here's an example that would create the 100 row grid, each row at 50 pixels tall. Grid template rows repeat 100, so this is 100 times, and 50 pixels. This is the 50 pixel tall. Okay, you can also repeat multiple values with the repeat function and insert the function amongst other values when defining a grid structure. Here's what I mean. Grid template columns repeat 2, 1 fraction, and 50 pixels, 20 pixels. Okay, I think that I got this also. So this translates to grid template column 1 fraction 50 pixel, 1 fraction 50 pixel, and 20 pixels. Okay, we go to this. Note, 1 fraction and 50 pixels is repeated twice, followed by 20 pixels. Yes, so this number 2 is the numbers that we are going to repeat, but it comes next. So we have 1 fraction and 50 pixels, and because it's 2 times, we have again 1 fraction and 20 pixels, and then we have this 20 pixels, alright? So it says use repeat to remove repetition from the grid template columns property. I'm going to copy this grid template columns. I'm going to insert it here, and then we're going to think for a while. I think it's repeat and then 3 and 1 FR, and let's see if that's correct. And no, it's not. Container class should, why it's not correct? Oh, because it needs maybe this. Oh yes, it just needed a comma and it's fine. Alright, let's continue. Limit item size using a min-max function. Cool. There is another built-in function to use with grid template columns and grid template rows called min-max. It's used to limit the size of items when the grid container changes size. To do this, you need to specify the acceptable size range for your item. Here is an example. Grid template columns 100 pixels, min-max 50 pixels, and 20 pixels. So in the code above, grid template columns is set to create 2 columns. The first is 100 pixels wide, and the second has the minimum width of 50 pixels and the maximum width of 200 pixels. Okay, I think I got this also, so let's see what we want. It says, using the min-max function, replace the 1 fraction in the repeat function with a column size that has the minimum width of 90 pixels and the maximum width of 1 fraction, and resize the preview panel to see the effect. Okay, so let me think. I'm going to take the grid template columns and I'm going to insert it here, and now I think that I need the repeat, and then I'm going to have it not 0, maybe like this, it's going to be better. Okay, so range 3, and then min and max, another parentheses, and then we have the 90 pixels, which is the minimum, and 1 fr, which is the maximum. Okay, I think we're correct, but maybe not. Okay, why? Yes. Oh my god, silly me. Greedy template columns. Oh my god, this copy paste. Yeah, guys, you probably shouldn't doing so much copy paste that I'm doing, especially if you're a beginner. Then I wouldn't recommend just copying and pasting things. Well, let's just continue with create flexible layouts using autofill. The repeat function comes with an option called autofill. This allows you to automatically insert as many rows or columns of your desired size as possible depending on the size of the container. You can create flexible layouts when combining autofill with min-max. In the preview, grid template columns is set to repeat, autofill, min-max, 60 pixels, and 1 fraction. When the container changes size, the setup keeps inserting 60 pixel columns and stretching them until it can insert another one. Note, if your container can't fit all your items on one row, it will move them down to a new one. Okay, I got it. In the first grid, use autofill with repeat to fill the grid with columns that have a minimum width of 60 pixels and maximum of 1 fraction. Then resize into preview to see the autofill in action. Okay guys, I forgot before to do the resize thing. Yeah, sorry. So let's just use the grid template columns. I'm going to add it here, and what do we need? Actually, rows. Okay, and now what do we got? We have, of course, the repeat, and then I'm going to use an autofill and a min and max value of 60 pixels and also 1 fr, and this should be correct, but it's not. So container class should have a grid template columns. Why did I do rows? Okay, and now we are correct. Cool. Let's just continue with one more. Submit and go to the next challenge. And this time we have the create flexible layouts using autofill. Autofit works almost identically to autofill. The only difference is that when the container size exceeds the size of all items combined, autofill keeps inserting empty rows or columns and pushes your items to the side, while autofit collapses those empty rows or columns and stretches your items to fit the size of the container. Note, if your container can't fit all your items on one row, it will move them down to a new one. Okay, in the second grid, use autofit with repeat to fill the grid with columns that have a minimum width of 60 pixels and a maximum of 1 fraction. Then resize the preview to see the difference. Okay, so I am going to use the grid template columns. Okay, I'm going to copy it from here and I'm going to insert it in the container 2, and this time I want a repeat parentheses column semicolon, and then I'm going to have this auto fit, which is the new property, and then again I'm going to have min and max, and this time I'm going to have a 60 pixels and an 1 fr. Let's just check if this one is correct. I'm not sure this time, but yes, it was. I think that I'm going to end this video here. If you like this kind of content, just please share and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll do my best to answer it. Have an amazing day and see you in the next video.